Hey friends, Dr. Francesca LeBlanc here. I am Dr. Busy Mom. I don't believe raising a healthy family should be confusing, overwhelming, or expensive. And for years, I purchased this powerful cold and flu fighting syrup at a local natural food store and found myself spending a fortune on it. So I said, you know what, there's got to be an easier way. There's got to be a little bit more cost-effective way. And with a little bit of research and a lot of trial and error, I found my way. So I want to share that with you today. The star of the show, you guys, is going to be the elderberry. We are making elderberry syrup today. It is very, very popular now, which I love that a ton of people are making it themselves. And of course, my version's kicked up a few notches, but nevertheless, even if you just have in the budget to grab yourself a bag of organic dried elderberries, that is plenty, and you can add on as you go, and you want to add to the cupboard and make this syrup a little bit richer as we go. So the real reason why elderberry syrup is so powerful for cold and flus is for a couple reasons. One, it's been documented to be on this planet since prehistoric times, one, and two, the father of medicine, Hippocrates, used it time and time again, claiming it as a cure-all for a wide variety of things. So we know that it works, but the real reason and the real science behind it is that it is loaded with flavonoids. And if you know anything about flavonoids, they boost your cytokine production, and that strengthens your immune response, which is why elderberry syrup is great to take now. Start now, before Halloween, before parties, before all of the seasonal changes, the weather changes, and we head on into the holidays. A teaspoon a day is a great preventative measure. However, if you're already working on a little bit of a cold or some sickness, elderberry syrup is safe to take 3 to 4 times a day to kind of help you get over the hump and help you get better faster. So I love it. I recommend it to everyone, except if you're under the age of 1, because my recipe uses raw organic honey, and that's just simply not something we want to give to anyone that is under the age of 1. So let's get right into the recipe, you guys. What you're going to need, and we'll show you how yummy this looks, is about a half a cup of dried elderberries is going into 2 cups of filtered water. Now, if you are kind of pinching pennies and watching the budget this month, you might want to hold off on the other ingredients. But of course, my elderberry syrup is kicked up a couple notches because I really want to make it a powerhouse. So you might want to just stop right here with your water and your elderberries. But if you want to follow me on my kicked up version, the next thing you're going to want to add, and I'm going to show you pictures of all these little herbs right here, is rose hips. Now the funny thing is, I remember my grandmother making rose hip tea all the time. She said it really helped with her joint pain, and that's because it is a powerhouse of vitamin C. So why would we want to take vitamin C? Well, of course, again, boosting our immune response. The next is a little bit weird. It's called astragalus root. I know, everyone's gonna be like, what is she doing? But the real truth of it is, I used to see a Chinese herbalist when I lived in New Jersey. Her name was Lucy. She was amazing. And I had a variety of allergic, sickness, sinusitis things that I just could not get over. And I had a crazy corporate job at the time, so that didn't help. So one of the things she always gave me was astragalus root. And now that I've done my research and I really understand it, traditional Chinese medicine claims that astragalus root is the immunostimulant, like not just the immunostimulant. And in particular, it strengthens your body's resistance to a cold virus or a flu virus. That is what it specifically does. And you don't need a lot of it. So, 3 pieces of astragalus root is going to go in. A half a cup of elderberries, a 1/4 cup of rose hips, 3 astragalus root, clove. Got to put in a little bit of clove. 3 little pieces of clove goes a long way. Cloves are rich in antioxidants. Well, why would we want antioxidants? Well, of course, if you can increase your antioxidant intake, you reduce your oxidative stress. Why would we want to do that? Oxidative stress leads to disease. So 3 cloves going in. Again, little bit goes a long way. And last but not least, an inch piece of some ginger root, you know, just shave off that fibrous coating, put that in. Ginger root, again, very powerful, anti-inflammatory. You know, I love me some ginger root, but more importantly, it's going to inhibit bacterial growth. So if you're a teacher and your students are starting to get sick, if you're a busy mom and the kids are in school and you got babies at home and they're starting to bring home stuff, ginger is a great way to inhibit any bacterial growth. So we're going to put an inch in here. 2 cups of filtered water, bring it up to a boil, lower the heat, let it simmer for 45 minutes. And basically what you're going to find is that it reduces down. So I'm going to show you this here, exactly what we're going to do. I have a very fine mesh strainer over a large bowl because I make a mess. And if I don't use a large bowl, I'll be wearing half of this. So what I'm going to do is pour this whole mixture in to the strainer. And again, I made this mixture about an hour ago, so it's not cold or room temperature. It's still warm, which is what you want, because that way it will combine well with the honey. And then we're going to just kind of push this through the strainer a bit. So then all you have left is the syrup. And then raw organic honey is your friend. I already put about a half a cup here in this mason jar. And you want to just go ahead and pour the syrup right into the mason jar, just like that. Yummy, yummy. Smells yummy. I love it just like that. But of course, there are health benefits to consuming raw honey. So if you've got the ability to get local honey, that's even better for where you live in strengthening your allergic and immuno response. Mine is just some that I, of course, bought on Amazon. I bought, P.S., all of these herbs on Amazon, believe it or not, available, and like less than $20 for each one. So let's give it a good shake. You guys, it's so good. And like I said, the initial investment to get all of these herbs might put you back about $40, but I have enough to make elderberry syrup several times a month. We go through this a lot because we all take a teaspoon before we head out for the day. And in times where, you know, somebody's starting to come down with something, it'll be a couple teaspoons a day. But, you know, there's nothing in here that's going to, one, irritate the gut. The problem with a lot of the elderberry syrups we find now in the store is, one, they are a fortune. They're in the $20 to $30 range, but they're sweetened with agave. You do not want to put agave syrup into your gut, especially when you're trying to strengthen your immune response, right? All disease begins in the gut. So we don't need agave creating inflammation in the gut, because that's what it does. So instead, we're going to use that raw, local honey and make your own syrup at home. And it's this delicious, rich purple color, you guys. Let it sit on the counter like this until it completely cools, and then store it in the fridge for a couple weeks, but it won't last that long. So you guys, I hope you found this beneficial. If you know a busy mom that needs this recipe, like I believe every household needs a good elderberry syrup on hand, please get them over to drbusymom.com so they can not only sign up for email updates, but find all my links to join me on YouTube, on Facebook, and of course on Instagram. So you guys, here's to a powerful cold and flu season. I hope you put this in your arsenal so that you too can also have a healthier cold and flu season. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.